Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to another presentation by the Knowlton High School LSA. In this video, we're going to be talking about Category 1 competitions in MIST. I'll be doing my best to show you an example of what the competition is, how it works, and little tips and tricks to prepare that I've learned from my personal experience and that other Milton participants have learned. So in Category 1, there are two broad spheres of competitions, which are knowledge tests and Quran. But these are broken down into smaller competitions, with each having 4 subcategories. So as you can see by the list, there are 4 knowledge tests and 4 Quran memorization levels. This helps to make it so that there is a more select deciding process in who wins, and it also is more fair for the participants. Knowledge tests. Knowledge test is a competition where students are given a book to read, and then they take a test on it, much like you will do in English class. And you have 4 book options offered, with one book being one knowledge test. So for example, if you're doing knowledge test 1 and your friend is doing knowledge test 3, you're not necessarily going to be having the same questions on the test because you have different books. Now, the tests are timed. They are closed books, so you cannot bring your book with you. And they include short answer questions, multiple choice, and an essay, which are given in a random order. The test is scored out of 100 total points, and the highest 4 grades from each of the knowledge tests will move on to nationals, which means that for all of the knowledge tests, there will be a total of 16 participants who move on to the national competition. Knowledge test book announcements are not announced with the theme in the rule book, but they can be found on the MIST website whenever they are, which is usually mid-January. Now, MIST Knowledge Test 2016 books are listed here just to give you a little bit of an idea of what to look forward to. So for Knowledge Test 1, the book was A Muslim in Victorian America, The Life of Alexander Russell Webb. For Knowledge Test 2, it was How to Read a Book, The Class's Guide to Intelligent Reading. For Knowledge Test number 3, it was a book called Rising Strong. And for Knowledge Test number 4, it was a book about environmental protection and what Islam says about that. So you'll see that you'll have often informational books, and sometimes you'll have the stories of people, and also you'll just have some that are just meant to help you intellectually in your classes as well. Now, the next sphere of Category 1 competitions is Quran memorization. And it is a competition where competitors come in having already memorized an assigned portion of the Quran. This is not a race to see how fast you can memorize a page. A panel of 3 judges will open the Quran to a page within the section that has been assigned to you, and they're going to recite the first ayah. And they're going to ask you to continue reading from memory until they motion you to stop with the stop signal, which is usually they'll click a pen, or maybe they'll just tell you to stop. It varies. And after being tested with the method shown above, the competitor will be randomly given a page from within the assigned portion, and you have to pick out all of the basic Tajweed rules that you can without the help of a study guide. Although I would recommend bringing a study guide with you and practicing during the tournament before your actual competition comes up, because these are really tiny things that you can easily forget. Now, there is a point system for Quran recitation, and even if you make a mistake but correct yourself, you will get points docked because they want to see you reading it fluently. So here you have all of the rules basically just outlined. If you correct yourself and they don't have to tell you, such as if you're reading and you say fa-inna, but then you realize, oh wait, no, it's wa-inna, then they'll only take off 1 point. If you're reading and you mess up and you don't correct yourself within a frame of, I believe it's 5 seconds, then your judge, one of them, will either tap a pen or just tell you that, hey, you may want to go back and read again. So that's -2 points. Now, if you have messed up and you are reading and they tell you, hey, you may want to go back, but you mess up again, and then they start reciting from the beginning of the ayah, but then you remember it before they get to the portion where you were wrong, that's -3 points. If you have a minor tajweed mistake not corrected, like, mixing up heavy and light letters, or I believe there's a slide of examples, that's a -5 points. And if you mess up a major tajweed mistake, that is -10 points. Each passage that you recite has a total of 10 points for recitation, and the beauty of that, and 20 points for memorization, which is a total of 30 points per section. So multiply that by 3 sections, that is 90 points, and the Tajweed test is 10 points, which equals out of 100 points total for the whole competition. Now, minor Tajweed mistakes. This is something to really focus on while you are reading. I'm pretty sure that what I do typically for this tournament is I'll listen to it a lot, and that'll help me eliminate most of these. This should not be a problem for you, hopefully, if you recite to somebody or if you listen to it. So a minor mistake is mixing up heavy and light letters, or messing up gunna, and you're not adhering to those rules in the respective places, or prolonging a letter too much, or just not prolonging it at all when there is a mud present there. Now, you have major tajweed mistakes. This is another really tricky category, and from my own personal experience, I say that the only best way to fix this is to actually recite to somebody that you know. And one is incorrect makhraj of a letter. So if you accidentally mess up and you say sheen, but you don't use the part of your tongue that you're supposed to use to say that letter, then they will deduct points. If you add letters to the word or add entire words, and if you leave off letters or words, if you replace a letter for another one, which is like the example that I said before, wa and fa, or even if you replace an entire word, if you change the haraka, if you replace a haraka with sukoon, and vice versa. So these are pretty big mistakes that oftentimes you won't realize it if you read by yourself. For this, it is critical to recite to somebody else. Quran memorization levels. Here are the 4 levels and what exactly you're supposed to memorize for each level. If you're on level 1, which is mostly 8th and 9th graders, you'll have Surah Fatiha alongside the last half of the 30th juz, and the surahs are written there for reference. Level 2, you will have Surah Fatiha plus the 30th juz in its entirety. And then level 3 is Surah Fatiha, the whole 30th juz, and the whole 29th juz. Now this is a lot more of a dramatic change compared to the change between 1 and 2. So this is another really hard one. And then level 4, which is the hardest level of the competition, is Surah Fatiha, the full 30th juz, the full 29th juz, and out of the 3 choices that are shown here, you have to choose one surah. So either you do Surah Rahman, or you do Surah Yasin, or you do Surah Waqi'ah. So I'd recommend choosing the one that you are the strongest in. For a lot of people that are newly memorizing the Quran for this specific tournament, I would recommend sticking to Yasin or Waqi'ah for the 1 surahs, because in Surah Rahman a lot of new memorizers do get mixed up, and that can cost you a lot of points. Now, you cannot repeat a level in any 2 consecutive years unless it's level 4. So that means, say I'm in 9th grade and I do level 1, then in 10th grade I must do a level that is above level 1. Now, I have the choice. Do I want to go to level 2, 3, or 4? But say I do level 3 in sophomore year, then I cannot go back to level 2 in my 3rd year of high school. I will have to move up to level 4. Now, say you do level 4 one year and the next year you still qualify for the tournament, then you can do level 4 again, because that is the highest level and it's not going to get any higher than that. Now, thank you for watching, and just a little quick side note that I'd like to add about the Quran competition that I forgot to put in the PowerPoint. It is treated as there's a separate competition for guys and a separate competition for girls, and each of these 4 levels per. So if you have 4 levels with 4 winners, that's 16 winners in the Quran memorization. Multiply that by 2, because you have a girls competition and you have a boys competition. So you have 32 people that advance to nationals, which in my opinion that is a lot, and I think it's really worth it to try either of these competitions, because seriously, you have talents you may not recognize.